Okay, this year we're going to utilize Google Calendar to write your lesson plans on. Um, this does two things. At the end of last year, we designed our websites and we imported or embedded our not our personal, but a Google Calendar into our websites. So now we're going to use that calendar to write our lesson plan, and when you type in your lesson plan, your website is automatically updated with an assignment calendar. So we tried to kill two birds with one stone there. So if you forgot, you can get to calendar from many different ways, but if you're in your email, which most of us are all day long, you can just go up and click your apps box and go to calendar. And once you get into your calendar, for those of you who were here last year, you can see that I have my personal calendar, which is tied to my Gmail account. That is not the one that we want to put on our website because this is a private calendar. But we all, if you were here last year, created a calendar that was like your name, and it was classroom calendar. Mine says Miss Mitchell's classroom calendar. Ignore this one, it was for a screencast. Anyway, so you're going to want to click on that one. Now, new teachers, if you weren't here last year, you'll need to create this calendar if you haven't already. So just click the down arrow and hit create new calendar, and then you're going to name that calendar Miss or Mrs. Classroom Calendar. Okay, but we need to get on the calendar, and to do lesson plans the way I do it, of course, again, there are many ways to do this. The way I like to do it though is whatever calendar I'm working on, I only want to see that calendar over here. So I always click this down arrow and I hit display only this calendar. That way, if you have a lot of stuff on different calendars over here, it doesn't confuse you. So I'm going to display only my classroom calendar, and I'm going to switch to week view. When you go in to type your lesson plans, you're going to click on Monday, obviously, if you're writing the lesson plans for the week. So I'm just going to start at 8 o'clock. I know we start a little earlier, but it doesn't allow me to do that. Okay, and an event pops up. Okay, so I'm going to go straight to edit event. Okay, and here's the way you need to type in the calendar. Now, there's a method to my madness, so just stick with me till the end and you'll see why I do it this way. Mr. Crenshaw wants up here in your event box, he wants first the topic that you're on teaching. Now, this could be just like a singular topic or a unit name, the basic topic that you are going over in class that day, so that if he walks by and looks at the calendar that's hung outside your door, he can tell basically what y'all are learning about. So I'm going to pretend that it's the beginning, I misspelled science, beginning of the year, and the topic that my class is on is science safety. Then you can put like space dash space so that he can tell that now is my next thing that I have to put. The next thing he wants is what stage of the E you're on. The 5E model is engage, explore, explain, elaborate, evaluate. Those are the 5 E's. And somewhere on the sheet that you got this off of, I also, the link sheet that I sent you, I also put a link to the 5 E's in case you wanted to go back and look at those. So I'm going to pretend like I am just beginning, so I'm in the engage stage. Here's the thing about 5 E's. Sometimes I'm on more than one E in a class period. So I'm going to pretend that I'm doing that right now. So I'm going to do engage / explore. My kids are going to be in 2 stages of the E model that day, or that's what I've planned. Okay? And the next thing that he wants is for you to name just the activity, the main activity, or maybe 2 activities that you're going to do that day. This is not a place to type all the details of exactly what you're going to do. He just wants a basic name of what you're going to be doing in class that day. Name the activity. So I'm going to say for science safety, My Engage is going to be a safety picture search. And my Explore is going to be an internet search. Okay? Those are the two things that my class is scheduled to do that day. Now here on time, and remember there's a method to my madness, you do need to fill in the time. So we're going to say that class runs from 8 to 3:30. Now even if you end and your conference period is before that or whatever, just say 8 to 3:30. Remember there's a method to my madness, and leave it like that. Okay? And then for those of us who have classes every other day, we could actually use the repeat, and we could repeat this for the next. So if you're one of those teachers, you'll click the repeat and this box is going to pop up, and you want to repeat this for 2 days because you have A and B classes. So you'll go to daily, repeat 1 day, starts, and I'm on September 1st, I just picked that day, and ends. If you click the box, a little calendar will pop up, ends on September 2nd, and I'm going to say done. Now I'm going to come down here to the description. So on the description part, Mr. Crenshaw this is where he wants you to type details about your lesson, so that if he had a question, he can pull your calendar up and he can go in there and digitally click on it and see exactly it is what you're doing. This part will not show up on the printed part that goes outside your door. So for this, he would like the TEK number, and I'm totally just making this up. I'm going to say 7.2 A and B, and then on here I'm going to explain exactly what my class is going to do. So students will search for safety violations in a digital picture on their computers and identify these. Then students will begin an internet search to find out or find consequences of violating lab safety rules. Okay? And if you wanted to, you could add an attachment if there was anything else you thought that he needed to see. Also remember that parents will be able to, since this is on the calendar that's on your website, parents will be able to click on the description as well and look at this also. And then you can leave all of this the same because we've already set the share settings when we created the calendar. And then you hit save. Okay, and sorry, I had paused and went back and changed something, and y'all have already done this. Remember I said put it till 3:30. I had changed something. I paused my video and did something and forgot to put it back. Hit save, and if this box pops up, just say all. Okay, and so now you have a nice big box that has that all day long. This is what my kids are going to do. If you taught 2 different preps, you could just, in this same box when you were typing it in, just identify it. Like, for example, Miss Dykes would teach science and math. So she would just have 2 topics where she is on the E and 2 descriptions. And you can identify those by saying like science class and then type your stuff, and then math class. Just remember to space in between them so that whoever's reading it, because it does all go together because that's designed for a title, so that Mr. Crenshaw or another principal can look, when they look at your sheet, they can decipher what it says. So once you get your whole week done, and we're going to pretend like I did, to print this you go to More, Print, and it pops up what it looks like. I always click black and white because I want to see what it looks like, because I'm not going to print this out in color, obviously. And then the print button sometimes is hard for people to see. I'm trying to move my there. I just maximized my screen. It was the little box, and I went up and pushed this. And the print button is down here on the bottom right, and you would just hit print, select your printer, print it out, and this is what you hang outside your door. And once you do that, your lesson plans are finished. So now you've updated your calendar and you've typed your lesson plans all in the same place.